Hi guys, it's Nicole, and today I am sharing another layout from the February 2021 Flavors of the Month kit from the Scraproom. If you are behind on videos, I am currently on their design team, and so this was stuff that I am working with this month. I did share a couple photos of the kit, and then the add-on embellishment kit is something that I also received, but I don't use on every single layout. So today I wanted to play with the Simple Stories Hello Today line. If you guys know me, Simple Stories can almost do no wrong in my sort of world. And I absolutely love their sort of everyday type of lines. So this is right up my alley. And so this kit, which is basically just like a small sampling of a collection, you get 2 sheets of craft cardstock, 3 sheets of pattern papers, which is the November, September, and March. And then you get 1/5 of a pack of the journal bits, which this is going to vary from kit to kit because basically what Rochelle does is she takes the pack and she splits it among 5 kits. So it's kind of fun that your kit will differ potentially from somebody else's kit. It's still stuff from the same line, but it's kind of fun to see what came in other people's kit as far as like which pieces. Then it also came with 1 Simple Stories frame and then a few pieces from the chipboard. And again, because that's getting cut up and like spread out, you get different ones. Mine came with like this big life title and like a plant and 2 little circles. And for this one, I did go ahead and pull in the like sticker sheet that was in the embellishment add-on. And Simple Stories has been doing these like foam stickers for a while, and I really like them. So the add-on kit, you're going to get half a pack. So there's a second, like if you bought this full pack, you would get 2 sheets basically. And I always film this part of my process video with these kits when I open them. So I go through and look at the papers and kind of figure out which ones am I drawn to. Same thing with the embellishments. Typically 2 of the 4 kits, I don't touch the embellishment add-on kit because I do want to kind of have an accurate representation of what you could potentially make or recreate with just the subscription kit. The other 2, I kind of allow myself to dip into the embellishment add-on and just have fun. So in this instance, that's what I'm going to do. I was really drawn to some of the title pieces on the foam sticker sheet, so that's what I went with. As far as the paper, I kind of really had to stop and think about what did I want to cut off of those sheets. A lot of the 3x4 cards that I was really drawn to and really wanted to be able to incorporate on my layout were right smack dab in the middle of the paper. So I just kind of tried to plan what I wanted to do. And I even grabbed a Post-it note and just kind of made myself a rough sketch of what I wanted to do. And basically I'm just going to make like a pieced patchwork grid style type of layout. And so because of that, my process on this layout is a little kind of all over the place. Normally I wouldn't do my journaling this early in the process of a layout, but because I knew that specific cut apart I wanted to put my journaling on, it was just easier to start from there and kind of work my way around. Couple, or I think maybe just 1, I cut out 1 of the 3x4 cards with a notebook die. I just wanted to have a little bit of interest because I was going to be layering it, and you're not going to see the documented phrase. I'm basically just using that 3x4 as a little piece of blue pattern paper. And then I did want to quickly just kind of explain my photos here. This would have been 2 days before Christmas, 2019. I came home from the grocery store and I found these 2 pieces of notebook paper with hair glued to them on my dining room table. My first thought was, who cut the cat's hair and who's in deep trouble? And I had gone to the grocery store, went through drive-thru, and my son is sitting there eating a taco when I started freaking out about it, and he looked up at me and I looked at his face, and you can see he's missing a giant chunk of hair from the front of his head. And I lost it. I was so mad. And I kept asking what happened, why did you do this? And I just kept getting like mute, no response. I don't want to talk about it. The whole time my husband can't stop laughing. He's not helping the situation. I, put groceries away, calm down, called him back over. And as I'm talking to him and asking my daughter, like if she knows what the heck happened, I look over at her and she's missing a giant chunk of hair from the bottom of her hair. And it was just like, I don't have time for this. It's 2 days before Christmas. It was a Sunday that I found out it happened. Monday was the next day, and I had a physical therapy appointment, and I was already planning on dropping my kids off with my mother-in-law so I could get to that appointment. And I don't know if this is like just my area, but most hair people that I know, like the barber that we go to, the girl that does my hair, they take Sunday, Monday off. And so basically I had to find I think we went to a Supercuts, and I basically was like in the parking lot 20 minutes before they opened and was begging them, can you please cut both of them at the same time? Like, I don't have time to deal with this. And part of me wanted to be like, you know what? You cut your hair, you need to live with it, and you can look ridiculous. But it was 2 days before Christmas where we were going to be with my family and my husband's family, and I didn't want to have to keep answering the questions of why do my kids look ridiculous. So we got emergency haircuts. They were not great. My son, I don't think he's ever had his hair this short, and I'm not sure what he thought that they were going to be able to do, but he just was like, oh yeah, they'll be able to fix it. And I'm like, fix what? Like, you cut it down to a nub on the front of your face. So he got kind of like barely, like she was barely able to kind of make it 2 different lengths and blend it together. And he wasn't a fan. They definitely learned a lesson. And I want to say a couple days later, we're hanging out with the neighbors and just kind of, hanging out on the driveway, doing what we do. And one of my neighbor's roommates, was talking to my kids, and he's being real silly with them and, pretending to lay down the law with them. And he gets the real version that they got the idea from the Captain Underpants movie that they had watched a year prior to make fake hairy armpits. So the picture on the upper right is, for your viewing pleasure, is a pair of fake hairy armpits. And yes, I kept them. Yes, I still have them. I wasn't thinking about it when I made the layout, but my original intention was to put it with the layout when I got to these photos. So I might just kind of slip them behind this layout and have it be like, I know that they're there. The other thought that occurred to me was to somehow find a way to display these things at either one of their weddings, to be like, you know what? Congratulations, this is what you have married. But to me, like, it's hysterical to talk about it now. My son still gets kind of upset about it. Like, I think it's more of, please don't bring up like a bad decision that I made, and that's anybody. But when I saw this line, I was like, oh wait, like I don't really do daily, like I don't do project life. I wasn't finding anything like recent that we had done that I was like, oh yeah, I would do a separate layout just for these like everyday type photos. And I fully intend to go buy like this entire collection to be able to do like a month in review, because I absolutely love like all these cut aparts. I love any kind of calendar type, office type looking stuff too. So I will probably end up going back and getting the whole collection for that purpose. But it was mostly those foam stickers from the embellishment add-on that kind of directed where I went with this. And I basically just cut things apart from the papers that I was drawn to. I used the foam stickers for my title, cut pieces down to kind of fit within this like DIY grid that I'm making. And then even like the areas that I put my photos, those are the 6x4 cut aparts that actually have like the name of the month on there. But I was able to cover them up pretty easily. I think my photos are 2.5 by 3.5, and then I just cut it and leave a thin white border around it. And then I just used some of the stuff that came with the regular kit from the like journal bits and just cut them into different pieces, stapled some stuff on there. And then one of the cards had a phrase that said, "It's not all sunshine and rainbows." And so instead of using that entire card, I cut just the phrase apart and then used foam strips and kind of used that to embellish the card that I had made on the upper left, which the card on the upper left and the card on the lower right are actually a 6x4, basically cut in half and then just kind of switched, one in each corner. And then I did make sure to go and look up and make sure I had the date right. I pretty much knew what the date was because, like I said, it was 2 days before Christmas, and no mom has time to go do emergency haircuts 2 days before Christmas. So, and then from there, I just kind of went to any of the like tiny embellishments. That's usually the last thing that I'll do on a layout. And these foam stars, or not stars, hearts are my absolute favorite. So I think I ended up using all of them. And I figured, you know what, I would rather it live on a page and I can enjoy them instead of sort of hoarding. So I hope you enjoyed this layout, and I will be back at some point in the future with another video from my February kit. And with that, I will say goodbye, and I'll catch you guys later.